Bit of a hiatus from real estate. God led me down a different path and introduced me to a new way to bring people to paradise here. And I've been living in Panama City for about 6 months now, and it has been absolutely amazing. I made a video, I think it was my first 60 days of living in Panama City, and now I'm 6, maybe 7 months in. Listen, I have a lot to say. Throughout this whole video, I'm just going to pop up during different things I'm talking about, some footage that I've taken personally that are all from main videos on my main channel. They're all boating, fishing, exploring videos in Panama City and the greater area. So if you are interested in seeing all my adventures here, definitely go check out my main channel, just Greyson Roberts. I am a referral agent, so if you are looking to buy, sell, or invest in this area, you can contact me. We'll get on a phone call. You can text me, email me, whatever's your speed. I'll take all that information, write it down, and transfer it to, and basically handpick you out the right agent for your circumstances. Let's get into it. After 6 months of living in Panama City, I've basically hit every area, every beach, excluding some of the, super cool springs up north. I haven't hit those quite yet. My wife has. She loves them, but I don't have any footage of those. I've spent significant time in Pensacola, Santa Rosa Beach especially, all the way down to Mexico Beach and Port St. Joe. Panama City Beach is actually no longer my favorite spot in the Panhandle. It's daggone Panama City. When I first moved here, I was personally under the impression that for me and my wife and our lifestyle, Panama City Beach would be the move. But I actually much prefer Panama City. I'll make a whole different video on that. I love them both, but we'll get into it another time. Okay, so Panama City Beach in Panama City. For the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna generalize because I spend almost just as much time in either one. I'm in Panama City Beach a few times a week. And of course, I live here. So it's just from now on, Panama City Beach and Panama City integrated, one thing. Okay, so it really is awesome beach living. It's pretty taken care of, and a lot of that has to do with awesome locals. Seriously, my favorite part is the people who live in this greater area. I've met some of the nicest, kindest, and happiest people of my life here. I've developed deep relationships with friends and mentors. I meet people through my local business, on the water, at the piers, at the boat ramps. Just the people here are phenomenal. Not to say that the people other places are worse or that everybody here is awesome, but you gotta remember, if you put yourself in the situation where you're at a boat ramp or you're on the water or you're at the beach or you're at a spring or you're at a trail, a creek, or river, everybody there is going to be in a great freaking mood. You better believe it, folks. Everybody is just going to be so happy to see everybody because we are where we love doing what we love. Okay, so I would like to share with you some of the reasons specifically why I keep falling more in love with Panama City and why I'm really struggling to figure out if next year I'm going to stay in Panama City or try Panama City Beach. It's really, really a hard decision for me right now. And I'm about to go through all the things I like to do personally, so if you see some of the footage and you're like, hey, I would like to see the full video, this looks pretty neat, definitely go check out my other channel. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so personally, I'm not an indoor things to do kind of guy. That's not why I moved here. So although there are, some nightlife, there are a lot of things that you can do. We went bowling once when it was raining, but for the most part, this is going to be completely biased to the outside. I don't really know all the things to do inside because personally I don't care, but here's what I love to do. Number one, my favorite beach hands down is St. Andrews State Park, folks. I love it so much more than all of Panama City Beach, all of Mexico Beach. I like it better than the 38 beaches I've been, and I'm going to tell you why. It does cost money to get in, but it's pretty awesome. Hands down, it's my favorite beach, and it's technically separated from the rest of the public beaches and the rest of Panama City Beach. Now, it's absolutely gorgeous. Sometimes we go spend a whole day just playing in the shallow emerald water, or snorkeling the jetties, or waking up early right as they open to be first in line to catch some Spanish mackerel, baby. I love St. Andrews. I can go there, I can launch my boat, I can fish off a pier, I can surf fish, I can fish the jetties, and I can swim. You can rent kayaks, paddleboards. We'll talk about those in my top 5 water activities to do in Panama City Beach and Panama City. That's coming soon, but St. Andrews basically has it all. We'll dive more deep into that here soon. But personally for me, St. Andrews, I don't know what I like better. Playing in the bay or the beautiful emerald waters of St. Andrews? The bay, though, That's where I live. That's where I really love. I am a massive, massive, massive fan of the Bay Area. Something that has surprised me a lot because before I moved here, I figured nobody really cared about it. That just goes to show how ignorant I really was about how awesome it is here. Now, we have so many gorgeous parks on the town side here in Panama City, and honestly, if you were to have me on a GPS on your phone like Life 360 like my family does, you'd see me spending the large majority of my time literally hanging out in, on, or around the bays. The parks here are just great. Walking trails, dog parks, frisbee golfs, boating and fishing with basically boat ramps and docks and piers for people to come fish, all for free. A lot of the parks actually have beaches on them. Now, of course, it's not going to be the emerald blue waters. It's going to be the more tannic but crystal clear waters. And, I'm in that more than I am in the Gulf. I love it. All right, so let's talk about fishing because that is I got pulls there, I got pulls in there. I love fishing. Chances are, if you're thinking about moving to Panama City, you might like fishing too. I didn't care about fishing till I moved here. But the second I did, I tried it and was hooked. Pun intended. This is my serious and expensive addiction. I can't stop catching fish here. From land, docks, and mostly from my little boat. It's non-stop action here, and you can do so many different types of fishing. Personally, my cup of tea is inshore flats fishing in the bays and marshes for speckled trout and especially redfish. I'll float in a couple feet of clear bay water and snack up these big fat reds. When I'm catching these big fish, I'm literally in a foot or two of water. I can see completely to the bottom. If I gotta pee, I gotta pee. If I need to cool off, I need to cool off. It's just crystal clear. You can see to the bottom. I'm floating, I'm standing. I got my motor running a couple miles an hour. I'm casting off the bow of the boat, looking around. I'm seeing stingrays go that way. Dolphins way too close to the boat. I used to think dolphins were a special thing to see. Dolphins are everywhere in the bays. Absolutely everywhere. And even when you're sitting in Panama City Beach, dolphins are everywhere. I see dolphins more days than I don't see dolphins here. I'm not even kidding. But we also have saltwater lakes. We have bays, creeks, marshes. Marshes are so fun. And even an awesome freshwater lake if you like swimming in freshwater lakes or fishing for the country's biggest bass, baby. Apparently, Florida is the best place to bass fish. And lucky enough, just down the road here in Panama City, probably 10 minutes away from where I'm sitting right now, is a wonderful freshwater lake that I put my boat in on. And you can bass fish if you want. Boating. Now, I'm going to pull up a screen recording here, and I'm just going to show you how many freaking boat ramps we have here. I boat maybe 4 times a week, and I still haven't had a chance to explore half the publicly available ramps. It seems like we have way more ramps here than the rest of the Panhandle. I'll kind of give you an example of that real quick, just kind of a broad overview. There is a ton on the bayside here. Now, the cool thing about boating here is you can stay inshore like I do, or you can go offshore through the St. Andrews Inlet. You could beach your boat, which is what I personally love to do. You can launch at any of the bays, go around a corner, and you find a beautiful, completely secluded beach. We've done that a million times there on camera on our main channel. Really, any boats here are perfect. I see mega yachts and freighters, all the way down to kayaks and paddleboards sharing the same water. You got a bass boat? I see those sometimes, especially up towards the top part of the city, and obviously they're always in that Deer Point freshwater lake, but there's a ton of freshwater creeks. It's brackish water, really, but there is a dedicated freshwater lake, so bass boats are more than welcome here. In fact, I would love one. Now, the people, of course, I already talked about this, but, your mileage may vary. If you have a good attitude, people will match it and go beyond. If you're sour, expect that response anywhere you go. But that's just life. The weather. Summer is summer. It's hot and humid, baby. We all know that. It's Florida. But the winter. Now, all winter long. I'm from Missouri, where it would ice and be nasty and gross and miserable half the year. The winters here are mild and very short. All winter long, I was kayaking, paddleboarding, fishing, and boating. My routine did not slow down at all. Eventually, when the waters start hitting the low 70s, I'll stop doing those long beach days, but everything is the same. But the last winter we just experienced was really nice. 50s was really the lowest it got, and high 60s was at the highest. So, you're running around high 50s to low 60s in the winter. We got hit with that northern winter storm that really wreaked havoc on the rest of the country. And, all I noticed was one morning it did get down below freezing once, maybe twice. So it's just really comfortable all winter. It's a really nice, mild winter that is just comfortable. Some days you have a jeans and a long shirt, or some days, in January, you'll be in shorts and short sleeves and you'll be surf fishing off the beach. That's what's great about it. All right, next is the variety of beaches. Realistically, we have 3 beach options here. We have Mexico Beach, which is you drive down past Panama City through the Tyndall Air Force Base, and it's literally just straight highway the whole time because it's all military zone, so there's not going to be resident. It's like 60 miles an hour, straight shot. I turn out of my parking lot. I turn one time. Literally, I go straight down, turn out of here, straight, and then turn into the public beach access. Mexico Beach is a great beach. It's not quite as emerald blue, and it's deeper, rougher, gets there quick, or it moves quicker, it seems like, if it's rougher. But I absolutely love Mexico Beach. It's a different vibe. It's a small little quaint town. All summer, we're always hitting Mexico Beach, maybe once a week. Of course, we have Panama City Beach. That's the one you're probably the most familiar with, the classic tourist hotspot. That's where a lot of vacationers go. They're staying in those condos, all sorts of stuff like that. But then you've got St. Andrews State Park, which we'll talk about in a different video, but it's maybe my favorite beach spot to go. It's 2 miles of shoreline. You've got so many different options, really. You've got tide pools. I just love St. Andrews. So you have a lot of options. After meeting literally hundreds of people through, being on the water, talking to people, especially through my business, especially through making connections through these videos and being involved with local Facebook groups, I'm balls deep, pardon my language, in the life here in Panama City, and I'm just making great connections, great friends, great mentors. Now, here's the number one response of people that I talk to, and this has happened a handful of times, actually. I always like to ask everybody I meet, do you like it here? How long you been here? Because I'm fairly new. I'm 6 months in, and I talk to all the locals, and of course, most people agree with what I'm saying, or I guess I would agree with what they're saying, and they have the same opinion. But what is the common response of people who have a negative opinion of here is they say, I don't really care for the beach. I expected it to be different, and it's just expensive. And that is true. It can be expensive for housing because you are by the beach. You go to a beachfront restaurant, well, it's going to cost a little bit more than if you're on the bayside because they've got that beachfront overhead. So yeah, I would agree. If you don't like water, definitely don't move here because that's the only thing anybody cares about around here. Boating, fishing, going to church, and just having a good time. And if you kind of like the beach and you like the weather and the lifestyle, but you don't really want to pay those prices, there's a whole slew of towns just north of the entire panhandle, 30, 45 an hour from the beach. So that way you can have kind of a more small town feel. You're not, surrounded by palm trees and beach bums and people like me who wear this to church. You could go up there and have a little bit less cost of living and still be super close. Chances are way closer than you ever were to the beach and all these fun activities. Plus, I've got rivers and springs and all sorts of fun stuff up north too. And a lot of those towns have their own bays that reach up there. So there's just a lot of good options. Anyway, that is my 6-month review of living in Panama City after talking to literally hundreds of people. This all seems to be what everybody's talking about, the good and the bad. That's my personal opinion. The only thing I can't really speak on is all of the indoor stuff to do on Panama City Beach, but chances are if you're moving here, you're not moving here to be indoors. You're moving here to live the lifestyle I live and just embrace the outdoors constantly. Anyway, guys, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, you can contact me and I'll get you connected with the right agent depending on your particular set of circumstances. Hey, and if you're a local, let me know what you dislike or like about Panama City. Mileage may vary. A lot of it comes down to your attitude and lifestyle. But if you're anything like me, you're going to have an absolute blast.